GOLFUNITY, the most popular golf infotainment podcast in town.
Welcome back, everyone, to GOLFUNITY. This is the deep dive where we really get into the nitty-gritty of professional golf.
Yeah, great to be here. And this week, wow, we've got something pretty interesting brewing.
We really do. We're zeroing in on a massive tactical shift. Maybe even a bit controversial. Definitely refreshing, I think. Something that might just make us rethink what championship golf even looks like.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
You know, if you've been feeling like modern pro golf is maybe getting a bit predictable, a bit smash and wedge, well, the DP World Tour just served up quite the counter argument.
Exactly. So we're going to tackle the great distance debate. We'll use the India Championship as our lens and ask that big question. Is precision actually the new power? Is hitting it straight more important than hitting it miles?
We're going to break down that really unique course setup in Delhi, the one that basically forced guys to leave the driver in the bag.
Yeah, force is the right word. And then we'll celebrate a really pretty emotional victory over there.
And importantly, connect it all back to you. How can you take some wisdom from the pros, maybe ditch the driver sometimes, and actually, lower your scores?
That's the goal. But first, well, you know the drill. I have to confess my latest golfing catastrophe. It's becoming a tradition, I fear.
Oh, here we go. Let's hear it.
Okay, so picture this. Beautiful par 4. About 420 yards. Should be straightforward, right? Textbook play is driver, maybe short iron in, or even smarter, a 3-wood just to guarantee finding the fairway.
Yep. Sounds sensible.
Did you do the sensible thing?
Heck, no. I pulled out the big dog, the driver, swung like my life depended on it, and I connected. Sort of. Launched this, majestic moonball. High, slicingly right. Missed the fairway by, 50 yards. Landed deep in this horrible brush.
Oh, no. The dreaded search party.
5 minutes. 5 minutes I'm hacking around in there. Finally give up, drop another ball. Then my buddy points out, I was looking in the wrong patch of jungle entirely. Might as well have been in the next county. Total disaster. Driver fail. Again. Ugh. The siren song of the driver. We've all been there. That feeling that this is the one. The 330-yard bomb down the middle.
Exactly. It's irresistible sometimes.
But what Delhi Golf Club really highlighted is that even the absolute best players in the world fight that temptation. But there, the course itself it forced their hand. It made them put that fantasy away.
Okay, let's dig into that. Delhi Golf Club, host of the DP World India Championship. Now, for anyone used to watching, say, the average PGA Tour event with wide fairways, maybe some light rough, Delhi was, a shock to the system.
Oh, completely. An architectural smack in the face, like you said. What made it so demanding wasn't just like overall length. It was the geometry and the density.
Geometry and density. Okay, break that down.
So yes, the fairways were incredibly tight, narrow, but the wheel kicker was the penalty for missing. It was severe.
We talking thick rough or?
Way beyond thick rough.
Yeah.
Think dense, almost jungle-like vegetation right off the edge of the fairway. Seriously, thick bushes, trees, scrub.
Right. Which means what for your next shot?
Which means if you weren't on the short grass, you were often facing. Well, maybe an impossible shot. Or worse, just a lost ball. Gone. Plus, the trees overhanging the fairway created these really narrow windows, maybe only 15 yards wide, right where you'd want to land a drive, like 270, 280 out.
So even a slightly offline drive could clip a branch, lose tons of distance.
Exactly. Or dive into the trees. You'd lose maybe 30, 40 yards instantly and have zero control for your next shot. It completely wiped out any advantage you might get from hitting driver. Power was negated.
So the strategy became, don't hit driver. The big stick was effectively benched. This wasn't bomb and gouge golf at all.
No way. Just to clarify for everyone, bomb and gouge is that modern style.
Yeah.
Smash driver as far as you can, even if it's in the rough, because you can still muscle a wedge onto the green from there.
But at Delhi,
there was no gouge. You couldn't recover from the rough like that. It forced precision. It forced smart ball striking. Strategy was king.
We saw guys having to adapt. Even Rory McIlroy, possibly the best driver of a golf ball on the planet.
Yeah, even Rory let the driver have a bit of a snooze in the bag most of the week. The margin for error was just too small. He knew it wasn't worth the risk.
And honestly, as a viewer, I found it really refreshing. It wasn't just the same old driver wedge putt.
Definitely.
Instead, we saw variety. Guys hitting these controlled high cuts with like 5 woods off the tee, power fades with long irons. Even that cool low shot, the stinger.
Ah, yeah, the stinger. That's, for anyone who doesn't know, that's where you take less loft on a long iron, hit down on it sharply to keep the ball flight really low, under the wind maybe, or just to guarantee it finds a narrow fairway. It maximizes roll but minimizes sideways curve.
Needs incredible control.
Absolutely.
Right.
And needing shots like that, it forced players off that mental autopilot you see sometimes. They had to think their way around.
Which brings us to the slightly controversial part, the debate. Do we actually need more courses like Delhi on tour?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I mean, I get the argument for variety, for testing different skills, but let's be honest, the big hitters, the guys bombing at 350, they draw huge crowds. Does focusing on precision risk losing some of that raw excitement?
It's a balance, right? You absolutely need tournaments that reward length. That's part of golf's appeal. But what Delhi offered was forced variety. And I think viewers, maybe more than we realize, are getting a little tired of seeing driver, wedge, putt on repeat every single week.
So the change of pace was welcome?
I think so.
Yeah.
Delhi demanded, say, a 5-wood, then maybe a 4-iron, then a tricky chip. It showcased different skills, strategic thinking, and maybe most importantly, mental discipline. It tested patience, not just brute strength.
That argument for strategy definitely holds water, and it certainly paid off for the winner this week. Let's shift from the course to the champion. Tommy Fleetwood taking down the DP World India Championship.
Yeah, what a win for Tommy. Just brilliant. He closed with a fantastic 65, won by 2 shots in the end. And it caps off an incredible year for him, doesn't it?
It really does. Think about it. His first ever PGA Tour title earlier this year at the Tour Championship, winning the FedEx Cup, played a huge part in Europe's Ryder Cup win.
Massive emotional role in that Ryder Cup, yeah. And now this win pushes him solidly into the top 5 in the world rankings. Just fantastic momentum.
And he really had to earn it on Sunday. Kita Nakajima, the third-round leader, and Daniel Hillier were right there with him early on.
They were pushing hard. But Fleetwood found that next gear, that burst you need on a Sunday. He ripped off 4 birdies in a row, starting at the 7th hole. Yeah. Just bang, 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 bang. Suddenly, he's got a share of the lead.
And then the pressure seemed to get to Hillier.
It did. That tiny margin for error at Delhi, it bites eventually. Hillier made a double bogey on 14 and bogeyed 15. Just slipped back. And Fleetwood, seeing his chance, pounced, made crucial long putts for birdie on 14 and 17. That's how you close out a tournament.
But the coolest part, the bit that makes this win feel really special, was the celebration, right? With his son, Frankie.
Oh, absolutely. That was just a fantastic moment, seeing little Frankie run onto the 18th green to hug his dad. Pure joy.
And there was a backstory there, too.
Yeah, Fleetwood shared it afterwards. Apparently, the week before, Frankie had said to him, kind of innocently, "Dad, you've never won a tournament where I've been able to run onto the 18th green."
Oh, man.
Right. So Fleetwood actually wrote that down, made it as a specific goal for the week. He said he was thinking about it all day Sunday, wanting to deliver that moment for his son. It just shows you that incredible focus, that external motivation driving that precise play. Amazing stuff.
Just awesome. And hey, before we move on to how you at home can use this, we should give a quick shout out to another winner this week, right? Over on the Asian Tour.
Oh, absolutely. Big congrats to Dominic Foos from Germany. Yeah. He won the SJM Macao Open. Really dramatic finish there, too.
And that's pretty significant for German golf, isn't it?
Hugely significant. It's the first time a German player has won on the Asian Tour since. Wait for it. Bernhard Langer back in 1996.
Wow. That's some legendary company to keep. Langer, Foos, Fleetwood. It really drives home the point about strategy and discipline winning out.
Exactly. Which brings us nicely back around. Back to you, the listener, thinking about your game this weekend. If the best drivers in the world, guys like Rory and Tommy, are leaving the driver in the bag for accuracy on tough courses, well, what does that tell you?
Yeah, should we amateurs always be just swinging for the fences, pulling driver on every par 4 and 5?
Well, let's bring in some wisdom from a major champion who is absolutely known for hitting fairways, Justin Leonard.
Ah, JL, Mr. Consistency. What does he say?
His advice for amateurs is incredibly simple, but honestly kind of revolutionary if you actually embrace it. He says the most important lesson is you do not have to hit driver off the tee, ever.
But why do we feel like we have to, that urge to smash it?
It's ego, mostly, isn't it? Yeah. Wanting that big number, wanting to tell your buddies you drove at 280. But Leonard stresses that amateurs need to be brutally honest about their own limitations. And crucially, understand their dispersion pattern.
Dispersion pattern? Like how wide your misses are?
Exactly. When the average amateur hits a driver, their misses left and right can create a cone that's maybe 40, 50, even 60 yards wide down the fairway. It's huge. But if they take, say, a 3-wood or even a 5-wood,
that cone shrinks
dramatically. Maybe it shrinks down to only 15 or 20 yards wide. You're sacrificing maybe 20, 30, 40 yards of potential distance, sure. But you're gaining massive accuracy and predictability.
So smart course management isn't just about avoiding the big water hazard. It's about choosing the club that minimizes your potential for disaster on every shot.
Precisely. Leonard gave a great example from playing in the U.S. Senior Open. He faced this tricky par 5, water all down the right, nasty rough left. He knew, realistically, he couldn't reach the green in 2 shots.
Okay, so what did he do?
He didn't even think about driver. He pulled out a 5-wood, just aimed for the middle of the fairway, maybe 230 yards out.
Yeah.
He mentally accepted, right there on the tee, that it was going to be a 3-shot hole.
Instead of trying to force it.
Right. Because if he'd hit driver, even a small miss left or right could have meant a penalty drop, or being blacked out for his 2nd shot, making the 3rd shot much harder. The 5-wood basically guaranteed a simple layup and an easy wedge in. Smart golf.
That makes so much sense. And that right there is probably the fastest way for most amateurs to actually lower their scores. Play to your strengths, manage your weaknesses.
Exactly. If you know you always slice it into the right fairway bunker on number 7, take a club off the tee that simply cannot reach that bunker, even if it leaves you a longer 2nd shot.
Or if greenside bunkers kill your scores, aim for the fat part of the green furthest away from the sand, even if the pin is tucked right next to it.
That's the essence of it. Tactical golf.
Yeah.
Dialing in your decisions. Getting control over that little voice in your head screaming, hit it harder, go for it. Delhi showed us. The pros showed us. Patience, precision, strategy. That's what wins championships.
That really is the big takeaway here, isn't it? Whether you're Tommy Fleetwood navigating that jungle rough in India, or just you trying to break 90 at your local course, thinking beats brute force. Strategy trumps swing speed pretty much every time.
It was just pure skill rewarded this week. Fascinating to watch.
Totally agree. So here's a final thought for you to chew on as you head out to play this weekend. Thinking about the drama, the tension, the sheer skill we saw in India, what kind of golf do you prefer to watch? Should tour courses be set up ultra long to chase scoring records and showcase power?
Or should more courses prioritize tricky setups, demanding precision, strategy, really testing that mental toughness and shot-making versatility? Which brand of golf is ultimately better for the game?
Something to think about. Let us know your thoughts. That's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you found that useful.
This has been GolfUnity Weekly Golf News. If you enjoyed this and want more insights into the world of golf, please subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss out. And check us out on social media, too. We'll see you next time.
Talk to you soon. Head over to our social media.
Yeah?
Tell us what you think.
Let's hear it.
And give us your predictions for the future of golf.
Until next time.
Keep it in the fairway.
And hit 'em straight.